My goodness, look at all that water coming out of there. I guess you could say that we do a little bit of vetting, and if we think somebody wants to go in there with the wrong intentions, we can kind of pick up on that, try to steer them away from here. But we could take names and see if we could prosecute them. And of course, we didn't know who the vandals were, so we couldn't tie it to any one person. The Steward family had a farm over here not far away, and they told us that this spring was over here and that there was a cave there that Mr. Steward had gone in and played cowboys and Indians when he was a kid growing up. We were mapping Allen Cave about a mile down the ridge, and one evening we came over here. There was no vandalism, no damage to the formations, and there were formations everywhere. They were most of them were not very large, but there were just so many that it just seemed like a special cave. In the 1980s, people started going in there and just destroying the formations, you know, just throwing rocks at them and tearing them up. And that was really distressing to somebody that had seen it back. We were the first people to go through the cave back in '68. There were no footprints anywhere. There were two cavers based in Huntsville. There was a cave over near the town of Paint Rock, Alabama, and there was some very bad vandalism in that cave that dated back to the 1950s. And these two cavers decided to experiment with ways to glue broken formations back together. And they wrote a couple of articles. It was in the National Caving magazine. I read the articles and I thought, well, we ought to try that over here. So that's what we did. If we could find the pieces and knew where they fit, we would try to epoxy them back together. This little piece was laying on the floor. We put it back together in this big tall one, which the joint is down here. We or somebody put some mud on there so you could hide the whites. The formation room that bore the brunt of most of it is about 1,400 feet in. And it's a little bit hard to find. I'm surprised that people with vandalism on their mind actually found it, but I guess they were following the footprints or something. This formation originally had been dry a long time. It was no longer active. And we looked up here and we picked what we thought was the soda straw that would land on this thing and make it start growing again. It would heal over all of the damage eventually. As you can see, it is starting to deposit new flowstone on this side, and it's going to grow as long as that soda straw keeps dripping. Because this is about 8 years of growth. And you know, a formation like that, I don't know how long it'd take for nature to make one from the ground up, but probably talking tens of thousands of years. That's something that the vandals don't appreciate. You know, that when they come in here and do stuff like this on purpose, it's unless somebody goes to extreme measures, that formation's gone forever. You know, it's kind of a crime against nature more than a crime against the law. There's actually a vandalism law in Alabama, but it's almost never prosecuted. And of course, we didn't know who the vandals were, so we couldn't tie it to any one person. I can't imagine anybody that likes to go in a cave and see spray paint all over the wall and broken bottles and that sort of thing. And that's what we want to do here is, you know, keep it in good shape. People can go in there without having a guide to hold their hand and watch them every minute. So we have to put a lot of trust in the visitors.
You can help save these amazing places, protect the habitat of over 1 million endangered animals, and ensure recreational access for generations to come. Visit scci.org/join to become a member today.